Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can animate moths in Blender. Um, I'm making this video because I saw a video by Ian Hubert and he basically also showed how to do this, but when I looked into the comments, I saw that there were a lot of people who were having trouble while following the tutorial because it was like kind of quick. So I decided to show it a little bit slower. This time we're not going to delete the default cube. We are just going to like select this and then extrude it along the axis, and now we got our little moth. Um, Now what you have to do is you have to model a wing using a plane. So you can just do it by making something like this. I think that's looking pretty okay for now. And so what you're going to do now is we are going to get it into like a downwards position. So now we can just mirror our left wing along the x-axis, and then you can just rotate it along the y-axis by -90 degrees. So you got something like this. And because you want the both of the wings to have like the same animation, so that, for example, the left wing doesn't move faster than the right one, what you have to do is like join them by pressing Ctrl plus J. So now this is basically like one object, but you can still model them separately, as you can see. So now to get to the animation, we have to first create two shape keys whilst having the wing selected. And so we got this key 1 now, and this means that everything we do in the edit mode with the wings is going to be like saved into this key. Like as you can see when I move this thing up in edit mode and then put the value up of the key, this is going to go upwards. So I'm going to remove this key, make another one. So now you will have to go to edit mode and just rotate the wings a little bit, again along the y-axis. I think this is looking pretty okay. And you want to do the same thing on the other wing. And now when you put the value to 1 again, you can see that the wings are moving. So what you want to do is create a keyframe with the value being 1. You can do that by pressing I on this thing. And now we want to go to the graph editor. Pull this out a little bit so we have more vision. And then we have to select this, the wings, so that we are able to see the modifiers here. And what we are going to do now is modify the like animation we just did by adding a noise modifier, which is going to add this randomness to the wings movement. So now when we play the animation, we can see that the wings are moving a little bit randomly, but they are not really going down. So we have to strengthen the noise modifier, and we are going to do this by um, getting more strength here and adjusting the parameter. And when we put it to like 7.8, we can see that the wings are moving pretty well. You can even put it a little bit higher so that the wings are going completely down. So what you can do now is adding a little bit of movement to the body, so um, that it just feels a little bit more realistic, because of course the moth's body is also moving when flying, and you're going to do this by also using the same method, just adding a little bit of movement and then again creating a keyframe at the value of 1, going to the graph editor and um, adding a noise modifier with a little bit of strength, and now you can see that the body is also moving. And so what you have to do now to like make it one object, so that when you later on add it to a particle system, the body and the wings won't act like loose parts, and so that um, the body won't just fly away from the wings. You have to make it into one thing by first selecting the body and then the wings. And now when we press play, we can see that it is like one object. So you also, of course, want there to be multiple moths, so you don't just have the same moth flying around like 100 times. So you are just going to duplicate it and just add a different movement to it by going to the graph editor and then just adjusting the strength a little bit so it is just different to the other one. And now that we got our 3 moths, what we will do is adding them to the same collection by selecting them and pressing M, adding new collection with a name called Moths. And now we will add like our particle system to this cube we just made by just adding an emitter particle system. We want there to be like 150 moths with a long lifetime, and we want the animation to be 1000 frames long, so we are going to put the end to 1000. We want our moths there, so we are going to make this render as a collection, and our instance collection of course is going to be moths. And now you can see that we got our own moths here, but you can see that they're just falling down. So then we will also go to the physics, make the physics type voids and get the mass a little bit lower to something like this. And now you can see that our moths are actually like flying, which is pretty cool. Of course, you don't just want them to fly around like this, because maybe you want them to fly to a certain object, um, maybe like a light or something, and therefore we can just pick this light. Now we want the moths to fly here, so we are going to our particle object again and go to void brain, delete these two options and add the option follow leader, and the leader is going to be the lamp or the light. And now you can see that they're actually flying to the lamp. So we will go to the movement and adjust it a little bit. So now that we adjusted our parameters here, we can see that the moths are actually flying a little bit more natural. One useful thing for your animation might be to like keyframe these parameters. For example, this angular velocity. We can like just test it a little bit. We can make it to something like this, and add a keyframe, then go to a different frame where we have it at like some kind of this value. And now when you go to the starting point of our keyframe, we can see that it's actually looking pretty cool because it is more random. Yeah, you can just like add more keyframes to this so that when you play it, they got a cool movement going on. And they won't just have the same thing going on and on. I hope this video could help you, and I would be pretty happy if you could leave a like if it did. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.